How's everybody doing? My name is Kurt Friedrich and I'm the owner-driver for CFRacing, and welcome to our post-race video for our first race of the 2024 season. First, I want to start off by thanking my family, my wife and kids for coming out and supporting me. Also my wife for helping me out throughout the day, and yeah, our kids were supporting us by running around and playing throughout the day. Also want to thank our sponsors. Kristen Murphy with eXp Realty. Kristen Murphy is a real estate agent in the Richmond area. She does a lot of stuff with the Richmond community, also does a lot of stuff with service members and retired service members. If anybody is needing help with buying or selling a home in the Richmond area, Kristen Murphy would be the real estate agent to reach out to. Please reach out to her. I'll put her contact information in the description below. Also want to thank Jim's by Denny on eBay for their continued support. Jim's by Denny on eBay is a website that sells loose gemstones and settings for people who want to kind of do a little bit more of their custom do-it-yourself projects at home. So if anybody's got any loose gemstones or cheap settings they want to put together, go to that website and see what they got. A lot of products to choose from. Also want to thank some help. I want to thank Cameron Wood and his group. I brought the go-kart up to his race shop a few weeks ago, and his group, specifically Tim Hammock, he put it on the scales and really went through it, made some adjustments, and gave me some tips of what to do with the go-kart, also some tips and advice on the tires. Also want to thank Corey Hansen. He did the engine over the winter time, and I could definitely tell a difference with the engine on the racetrack, and also with the help from Cameron Wood and his group, could definitely tell a difference. So we'll stumble a little bit with that, but we'll get into that here in a little bit when we talk about the events for the day. And last but not least, I also want to thank you guys, the fans, for watching these videos and also for your continued support. Our views are going up, our subscribes are going up, and that's you guys watching these videos. So definitely want to thank the fans for your support. Alright, with that, we'll go ahead and let's go on to the segment I'm calling it the story of the day. So basically what we're going to talk about here is the events of what happened throughout the day, which is going to be practice, qualifying, r/heat races, and the races, and then the goals that we had met. So practice, first race of the season, still had some kinks to work out on the go-kart. And also where we were pitting, it was kind of hard to hear on the track. We usually try to go out in there's an open round of practice and then two controlled round of practice. We usually try to go out in the open round of practice and then the second round of controlled practice. Couldn't really hear very clearly, so we missed the first round of open practice. We got out on the grid for the first round of controlled practice. Noticed an issue with the right front tire. Ran over to Cameron Wood and asked him for help for a piece. He had one piece that I needed. Had to run to the parts trailer. Ran to the parts trailer, got the second piece that I needed. Ran back to the grid, and Lou picked up on the front of the go-kart, and I was able to make the changes and then get in the seat just in time for when they were letting us go out and practice. So it was a real scramble. But that's also kind of part of racing, is sometimes there's things that pop up last minute and you scramble to get it fixed. With the help from that group of people, we were able to get it fixed and get out on the track and get some laps in. Throughout practice, it was basically just trying to log laps and get a feel for the go-kart. As I said in the pre-race video, it hadn't been filmed very well over the past few weeks. And just really trying to take it easy, not trying to push it too hard, and just getting a feel for the go-kart and yeah, just log laps. But overall, with the go-kart, wasn't like I said, with the help from Corey Hansen with the motor and Cameron and Tim with the chassis setup, I could tell a difference. I could really feel a difference in the go-kart, how it was handling compared to last year. So going into for qualifying, they actually ran heat races this year, or this week, instead of time trial laps. So let's talk about well, first I'll say that considering everything, for heat races you draw for position. So if there's 10 go-karts and you draw number 5, you start number 5. In this case, there were 5 go-karts in clone medium, 4 go-karts in clone heavy. I just elected to start last, like I said, just logging laps, just trying to fill things out. So for clone medium, I started 5th out of 5, and when we fired off, I was able to keep pace with them. The carts in front of me were kind of beating and banging at each other, and then I was right there with them, trying to not bump into them or crash into them or cause a wreck or anything like that. And in turns 1 and 2, where I was really struggling, they really got checked up, and I got behind on the steering and spun out and got back going again. Another cart spun out, and then another one pulled off the track, and ended up finishing 3rd in the clone medium heat race. In the clone heavy heat race, I think it was, I honestly don't really remember. I think it was pretty uneventful. Started that race in 4th, and pretty much that's where I finished, was 4th, but was able to keep pace with the rest of the pack and keep them right there in front of me, which is a big difference compared to previous years. So going in the races, this is where things got a little shaken up. So clone medium started a race in 3rd. When we fired off really well. 2nd place went and passed the pole sitter. When he made the pass, I got by him too, found myself up in 2nd place, and that's when I flipped the switch. When I saw the leader right there in front of me, I flipped the switch from going to, hey, let's just take it easy, be conservative, to saying, hey, leader's right there in front of me, let's go get this thing, let's go get a win. But then after a few laps, the tires started giving up, and then 2nd place got by me, 3rd place got by me, and then when 4th place was getting by me, he bumped into me a little bit. I slid up the track, spun out, got back going again, and then was just going to log some laps. And then when the leaders were coming up to pass me after that, then one of my things is, if the leaders are getting ready to come around and lap me, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the track because I don't want to mess their race up. So I ended up finishing, did not finish that race, but ended up finishing it 5th out of 5 go-karts. And then for clone heavy, basically the same thing. We started 4th out of 4, fired off real well, kept them right there in front of me. But then after about 3 or 4 laps, they started pulling away from me. And then after about 6 or 7 laps, the go-kart just started getting really, really tight, really hard to turn. I got to the point where I couldn't even hold my head up. My head just started going back from the muscle fatigue. So I like to go ahead and pull it off. I'll be honest, I was out of shape, and considering all things, I just couldn't handle turning the go-kart anymore. It just got physically too tough to handle. So I pulled it off the track and ended up finishing 4th out of 4. But considering all things that we've been dealing with over the past few weeks, really, really, really happy with how we performed over the weekend and how things worked out and adjustments that we were making, and just the overall day showed some flashes of potential for sure. So goals being met. We did stick with our tire testing, and we did learn some tire testing. We learned some of what we should have done or could have done. Some things that maybe we could apply for further weeks. We logged laps, logged as many laps as I physically could log. And then we learned some stuff and had some fun. So that was the goals for the weekend, and I really feel like we met those goals. So overall, while it's not the results that we want, but overall the improvements is what we want, and that's really what I want to see. So like I said, for the heat races, clone medium, the results were finished 3rd out of 5. Clone heavy, 4th out of 4, and then the races, both clone medium, 5 out of 5, and clone heavy, 4 out of 4. So finishing last still, but not finishing the races, but like I said, stuff to improve on. So with that being said, again, I want to thank our sponsors, Krista Murphy with eXp Realty, Jim's by Danny on eBay for all their continued support. If anybody else has needed some help with getting a little bit more exposure for their company, we are looking for additional sponsorship. Please reach out, direct message me, and we can talk about some details about what we're looking for. And also remember that when you put your name on our go-kart, you're not just putting your name on your go-kart, you're considered a member of the team. Again, I want to help my wife Malou for filming this video, for coming out the track and helping. Again, Cameron Wood, Tim Hammock and their group, and Corey Hansen for the motor work that he did helping out. And again, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, rate, share, all the above. Our next race is in May, and we'll see you guys then for the pre-race video. Thanks again for watching. Till then, take it easy.